We've got a bunch of really sticky, messy 4-week-old Australian Labradoodle puppies in today's video. These puppies have started solid food and that's why they're all sticky. But you can see they're still pretty fond of that milk bar. Look at them go. In today's video, we are going to give you an update on each of the puppies. We're going to tell you a little bit about how the weaning process works as we're nearing that stage. And we're also going to talk this week about all of the external things that are important for your puppy. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and these are our Sky Gems Labradoodle puppies. These are going to be medium puppies, maturing to between 30 and 40 pounds most likely. And you can see Mama Kinsei's there offering up her milk bar, and now she just flops herself completely upside down and lets the puppies go at it. You can see they're all a little bit almost frantic as they go from spot to spot. So what's happening? Well, what's happening is there's not enough milk there for them to all fill themselves up. And this is totally normal. Kinsei has already fed the puppies and given them a really big breakfast a few hours ago. And now it takes a little longer for her milk bar to replenish itself because we've begun to cut her food back just a little bit. And we're doing that in anticipation of the puppies being fully weaned by week 6. So we just have 2 weeks to accomplish that. And we're going from a girl who's eating a tremendous amount with 7 puppies who are fully dependent upon her in 14 days to 7 puppies who are not dependent on her for nutrition at all. So like everything with puppies, it's a very rapid process. So we started to introduce them to solid food. We did that a couple of days ago. And what are they eating? So this is one of the things we're going to focus on today is nutrition. Last week's episode, we talked about all the important emotional aspects of raising a puppy, the desensitization and the socialization, and what toys are appropriate. And this week, we're going to talk a little bit more about what is important for them physically in terms of nutrition and exercise. So what the puppies are eating right now is a mixture of goat's milk, plain rice pablum, and some plain tinned pumpkin. So why do we pick those things? Well, first of all, those 3 things together make a quite sticky formula, and we need it to be sticky so it sticks to the puppy's tongues, because like everything, this is something brand new for your puppy. Your puppy has no idea how to lap. They have to learn how to do that. So when we first introduce them to a pan of food, we want that food to have some nice viscosity so that when they put their tongues in there, it sticks onto their tongues and they figure out, oh, there's food here, this thing tastes good. We also want it to stick to the puppies, although it does make a big mess, because they lick it off of one another. It's all about, again, working with natural instincts and being able to have the behavior we desire come as a result of what the puppies are going to do instinctively. And we also want to start with goat's milk because it is most like mama's milk. Dogs cannot tolerate cow's milk. They cannot process lactose. There's too much sugar in the milk. And lactose is something that they are not able to deal with. So we don't want to give dogs things with a lot of lactose in them, such as cow's milk. So the goat's milk fills in really well. The pablum really only offers them some fullness and some stickiness. It doesn't really have much actual nutritional value. And then the pumpkin is just to ease the transition. Pumpkin is a superfood for dogs. It helps them with their digestion, it helps them not become constipated, and it also helps them not develop diarrhea when they're going through this dietary change. And it's a fairly monumental change for them to go from breast milk to solid food, just like with a regular baby. And then we'll only keep them on this solid food for a couple of days, and then we're going to be introducing them to their regular raw food. The thing that we wait for before we introduce them to their raw food is just that they have enough teeth. They need to have the teeth there to be able to tear apart the food in their mouth before they swallow it. Hello, Kinsei, I love you. Kinsei is saying thank you. She's glad to have a little bit of a respite from feeding so many mouths so many times. Now, let's do a little bit of a talk about Kinsei's nutrition. So what Kinsei eats is what the puppies have had. We talked about that when they were first born. This is why we have such beautiful shiny coats, why Kinsei's coat and Kinsei herself is in such good condition, why the puppies are so robust. Because she was eating a whole food, natural, raw diet. And there she goes. She says, thanks, you can have them now. She's done her little bit for a while, and she won't come back in now probably for a couple of hours. So the puppies are on their own much more. So Kinsei has been eating a tremendous amount of food. At each meal, she is eating around 18 ounces of food. And then she has an overnight snack as well, which is around another 10 ounces. And she has 3 to 4 bones during the day as well. Hugely more than what she would normally eat. Normally she would eat about 16 ounces in a day. Never mind more than that 4 times a day. So what we will do, starting when the puppies are 5 weeks old, so next week, is we'll start to begin to reduce her food. So between now and when the puppies are 6 weeks old, we will take her back down to her normal amount. This is the most awkward time for moms because they're still really hungry, and it's really hard for them because they feel like they're on a very strict diet when indeed they are still eating their normal amount of food. But we want to make sure those mammary glands are drying up. We don't want to be sending mom home and then having mastitis develop. So overall, it's much more comfortable for her. So we want to help her dry up. And what else do we do? Well, we give her sage in her food. Sage is a very natural way to help a mama dog dry up. Now for these little tigers here, you can see they are really roaring around now. We are going to have to expand their area. It's not quite big enough. You can see they've started to learn to pee farther away from where they're sleeping, but we don't have a lot of space here, so we want to be sure that we're going to offer them a bigger opportunity to make sure they start peeing farther and farther away from where they are playing and sleeping. So we're going to expand their room so they have about half again as much room as they do now, close to doubling their space. You can see how much they're interacting with each other. They're much more interactive with the toys. You can see Silver Collar there's playing with the little pink ball, and you can see we've changed the toys, and then you can see they're wrestling now. Whoa, we get some big growls now too. We get a couple of barks going on. When it's time for their food dish to come down, we usually get a couple of barks going on telling us to hurry up and get going with that. They are very good at communicating. And you can see that that stickiness makes a great big mess on my pants. So they are at their dirty puppy stage, as we call it now. And here you see Silver Collar over here exploring Mr. Reindeer. And now we've got active squeakers for these guys. And they're very intrigued by the squeakers. But you see, they'll take a look. Some of them will come back and go, like Yellow Collar here is doing a famous ALD head tilt, checking it out, seeing what's going on. So we're giving them a lot more stimulation, a lot of different new things, some old things. Mr. Tiger's still here. And you can see we've changed their bed. So their bed is another part of something external that's so important for them. These beds are all handmade in Alberta, and they are not made with the normal, if you go to Costco or PetSmart or your favorite local independent pet store. All of those beds are made with artificial fabrics. They're stuffed with polyfill, which is made with chemicals. They have flame retardant on them, and they're made with dyes that are also full of chemicals. These beds, as I said, are handmade in Canada. They come apart, and all you have to do is shake them to get them back in shape, because it's not polyfill. This is bits of waste from human clothing fabric. So there's no chemicals, there's no dyes, there's no nothing in these fillers. And it retains its shape. This bed is probably about 8 years old. It's probably been washed well more than 100 times. And because it splits like this, it's really easy to put in any regular washing machine, and it can go in the dryer too, and it comes out looking just like this. The puppies like it, and I think the reason why all the dogs like it so much, if you give them the choice of this bed and a pet store bed, they'll all choose this one. And I think it's because of the scent, because you don't have those chemical, flame retardant, polyfill smells in it. So they naturally gravitate towards that. It's also super soft, very relaxing. Now the other reason why this particular bed is so good is because, if I can just pop you in here for a minute to demonstrate, the puppies can curl right up in it. They can lean up against this side. The side is strong enough to support them, and that mimics how they feel when they're nursing. So you saw them when they were all lined up against mom there, and this type of bed and this shape of bed gives you that same support and that same feeling of being snuggled up right against mom and your litter mates in your favorite place, the milk bar. The other thing that's great about it is, as your puppy grows, this bed will last your puppy for life. For this litter, they will have a size up from this. The bed can go like this. So if your dog wants to stretch out, it will adjust to that shape. If they want to curl up and feel protected, it will hold them up on the sides there. It won't collapse. So it's got all of the benefits for helping them sleep better. And who doesn't want your puppy to sleep better? This is one of the key things. It also gives them a lot of emotional security, and it's familiar because this is what they've grown up with. Same thing for the crate. We want to have the crate that's the right size, and you'll see in the crate is the crate mat, which is made by the same place that makes the beds. Exact same thing in terms of what's inside it and the fabric outside, and the fact that you can wash it and dry it in the washing machine and dryer. So these are all important things to think about when you're getting your puppy. You want to make sure that what they're using for their equipment, if you will, provides them with benefit. The other thing, for instance, is their bowls. Lots of people like to buy fairly fancy ceramic bowls. There's all sorts of cute ones that have bones on them and so forth. But ceramic bowls are not able to be hygienic for your dog. They can hold bacteria almost as much as a plastic bowl can. So we don't recommend them at all. The ones that we use are stainless steel. And in your puppy starter kit, of course, you get this bed, the crate mat, and the crate, and the X-Pen, but you will also get copper-clad stainless steel bowls in a special silicone mat that the bowls fit into so they can't slip. If your puppy is sloppy with their water or their food, it goes on the mat, not on your floor, and everything can go in the dishwasher if you wish to really sterilize it. What are you doing, biting my pants? So those are all things to keep in mind. It's just like later on when we start doing leash work and Head Start with the puppies, the harness that we use is designed to not impede your dog's physical development. You'll see hundreds of dogs, probably most dogs, wearing a harness that has a chest plate. And they usually have something right around the shoulder too that's fairly thick. So it's a Y shape, but with quite a bit of a chest plate. This is one of the worst things you can do for your dog. This type of harness has your dog doing this with their shoulders. So just like we don't like our kids doing this with their phones, and we're always telling them to sit up straight because we want them to have good posture so they're more comfortable as they age, Same thing for your puppy. If their harness is doing this with their shoulders, they're not going to develop their proper muscular development in their shoulders. They are going to end up with arthritic problems as they get older, and it also constricts their breathing. So when you have a chest plate harness and your puppy is trying to run and play, they aren't able to get the full expansion of their lungs because that harness is holding everything in. Lots of popular harnesses have a ring on the front of the chest, and they call those no pull. For your dog to not pull on the leash, that's a matter of training. It has nothing to do with some equipment that somebody's marketed to convince you that if you clip your leash here, your dog no longer pulls. That's utter nonsense. And again, this is not where you want your dog to be getting their movement from. You want the clip to be on their back in the center where it does not impede their progress. So the harness that we give you looks like nothing. You'll think, holy cow, I paid for this. It's the best possible one for your dog. It does not impede their development whatsoever. It allows them to breathe properly. It allows them to move their legs properly. And it provides so little weight on them that it also doesn't interfere in that way and makes walking on leash very easy for your dog. In terms of your dog not pulling, that's what you go to class for, to learn. What do you think of all these little growls? Aren't they fun? I just love when they first find their voices and start growling. It's so cute. And they like to play here in behind the crate. They play hide and seek and they run around in circles. They just have a great time. Moving on from the harness, the other thing that is important, and all of these things are in your puppy starter kit, is a long line. So what's the point of a long line? Lots of people say to me, well, why do I want 30 feet of leash? My goodness, it's so much to wrap up, and oh, how will I manage? Your long line allows your puppy to go out, be a good distance from you, feel free, while you still have complete control of them. So it allows your puppy to feel like they're out in the open, running and making their own decisions. When you take your puppy for a walk, you don't want to be having them on a little short leash and asking them to walk right beside you. They're nowhere near ready to do that. I don't do that with my adult dogs. When we leave the house and we go on our walk, the first thing we do is spend the first half of the walk on a long line, and they can go wherever they want, obviously when we're not near traffic. They can explore, they can stop, start, sniff, pee on something if they want, check things out, go forward, go backward, this side, that side, wherever they want, but I have complete control. So if we're on a trail and up ahead we see another dog coming, it is nothing for me to just reel that leash in while calling my puppy. So I'm training my puppy to come when called, winding the leash right up, which is really very easy to do. And now I've got my puppy right by my side, and I can either pick them up if I need to, or just hold them at my side while the other dog passes. Because you don't know what that dog's like that's on the trail, and you don't want your dog to be interacting with a strange dog. So it's really important for that. The other thing the long line is good for is that name recall. Great for families. Dogs know instinctively that children do not have the same authority as adults, and they tend to be less respectful when they are called by a child. So when you have the long line, you sit in a circle as a family, you have the puppy on the long line, everybody takes a turn holding on to the long line, calling the puppy by name. If the puppy doesn't come right away, you've got a way to get them to come to you, pulling gently, saying their name, and then giving them a treat. It's excellent for recall training, excellent for name recognition, and excellent for allowing your dog to learn to respect everyone in the family equally. So those are all parts of what you find in your puppy starter kit, and parts of the equipment and how to choose the right thing. Of course, we also have all the correct grooming tools and all of the nail clippers that are right, the right treats, the right toys, everything like that that is in there. But sometimes it's hard to figure out when you look at things, well, why does it matter what harness I use? Why does it matter what leash I use? What difference does one leash from another make? This one's really pretty. I'm going to pick that one. Oh, look, this harness has hearts and flowers on it. I'm going to buy it. Those are not the reasons why we should be choosing our dog's equipment. Similarly now with our dog's nutrition. So you can see as they're playing here, they've got lots of energy. You can see them going in and out of their crate there, having a good time, playing inside the crate. They've got the ball out there. Already some of them are falling asleep because they did just eat. Little red collar is on a big adventure here. Look at that tail wagging. Happy puppy. And you can see that puppy is nicely well proportioned, shiny coat except for where the gloppy food is. Shiny coat, very nice body proportion, and a good weight. And that all comes from their nutrition. So your puppy's going to be weaned to raw food. And raw food is really not complicated. It is just the same as feeding kibble, other than it comes out of a different place instead of a bag that's full of chemicals with food that has very little bioavailable food in it. It comes out of a package that is in your fridge and you use a spoon instead of a scoop. It's super easy. We are going to go through more information. Every litter we do a food box for that's curated specifically for your puppy. And when you get that food box, you can have it for a month or two. And we give you the whole bit of directions on how to use it, how to store everything, how to prepare it, how to rotate it, when you do and don't need to add supplements, what they would be if you needed some, etc. And we give you a whole host of information right through when your dog is going to be an adult. It's very easy, it's not complicated, it's just something different. But it does a world of difference for your puppy. It makes an enormous amount of difference in their longevity. It saves you a fortune in vet bills going forward, and it helps you have a happier, healthier dog. So now let's do the updates. Everybody is over a kilogram. You can see they're getting big and strong, and we are going to go and let you know what each one's puppy's weight is. If I can find them all, they're all spread out all over the place. Who are you back here? Who are you? Oh, you are just who I need. Miss Pink Collar Girl. And Miss Pink Collar Girl is a beautiful phantom. She is a tri. At first we weren't sure if she was a sable or she was a phantom. She is a beautiful, gorgeous phantom. She is the smallest puppy in the litter. She is 1.3 kilograms. Gorgeous. Just the most glossy ebony coat. This little girl has a very sweet little personality. She's a little bit on the quieter side. She's very gentle. She's also an excellent problem solver. She uses her small size to her advantage, and she knows how to work around her siblings to be able to get at the milk bar without any trouble whatsoever. These are my little pinky. Next we have, you want to go back over here by Mommy? Okay. Next we've got a Red Collar Girl. Oh, handy again. And Red Collar Girl is 1.37. So she is pretty much the same as Pink, and she's also a phantom. This girl is not a sable. This is a chocolate phantom. So exactly the same pattern as Pink, just in the chocolate format. And you can see she's got a big clump of her food here. So what we have to do throughout the day now is cut these little bits of sticky food off of the puppies. That's what got very sticky feet, don't you? Miss Red Collar's lots of fun. She likes to explore the new toys. She's a really smart little girl, always looking to find out about new things, very curious and not afraid of anything. She's got a lovely level of confidence, but she's not bold or sassy or anything. She just feels good about life and herself. That's my little Red Collar Girl. Then we have Yellow Collar Boy, who is the biggest puppy in the litter. And oh, everybody's just being so conveniently right here. That means everyone else is far, far, far away. And Mr. Yellow here He is a gorgeous ebony, and he is a sable. And the only way I can tell is by the markings on his paws. They're more striped than just the collar. I love Mr. Yellow. He is fun, he's curious, but he never uses his size to his advantage. He's a very big, kissy, affectionate boy, very intuitive, and just gets along with everybody wonderfully. So that's Mr. Yellow at 1.82 kilograms. He's going to be 2 kilograms before we know it. Now we need Blue Collar, who is hiding behind the crate, I think. Reynolds just going to help me find the ones that are over there. Oh, we got a big upset because we got woken up. Oh no. I've got Burgundy. Here's Mr. Blue. Hi, Blue. Here's Mr. Blue. Oh, he says, I am just so annoyed that you woke me up. Now, Mr. Blue is a gorgeous black sable. Now, look at the difference in the color. Like, does he look like he's black? Not at all. That's because he's sable. So he's going to end up having some black on his ears here as an adult, a little bit around his face and his eyes, but his coat is going to clear out to an absolutely gorgeous reddish, dark burnished copper color. He's just going to be the most handsome guy. Mr. Blue is our sensitive soul, as he showed you just there when he was woken up. He had a little bit to say about that. He loves to play, but he does get his feelings hurt sometimes when the other dogs are growling at him. He'll go, oh, why are you growling at me? So he's just a real sensitive fellow. And he is 1.52 kilograms. Want to go sleep over here with your sissy? Yeah, want to sleep with your sissy on the reindeer? And next we have Burgundy. And Burgundy is right here. Hello, Burgundy. Burgundy is also a sable, and she is also a black, or he rather, is also a black sable. It's almost the exact same coat there as Red. The two of them are very close in terms of their pattern. You got some icky on your nose from your food there, baby. Burgundy is the sweetest little boy. Gentle, kind, loves to play with everybody, a really good sport, and an excellent problem solver. And Burgundy is, excuse me, Blue, you're standing on my phone, 1.62 kilograms. Then we have Mr. Mint. And Reynold, can you see Mint over there? Oh, he's behind the crate. We're gonna have to do a little excavation here to get to Mint. Come here, you devil child, you. Oh my goodness, there we go. Oh, you were hiding out there. Mint is also a chocolate, or rather a ebony sable. This is a handsome puppy, put together beautifully. And Mr. Mint is, he's a friendly guy. He loves to make good eye contact. He's already looking around asking to see what it is that we would like him to do. And he just loves to be held. Physical contact is his best friend, and that's probably why he was hiding out back behind the crate there, because he got all sorts of snuggles on all sides. And Mr. Mint is 1.78 kilograms. So he and Yellow are the two bruisers in the litter, and we'll put the two of them in the bed there. And last but not least is Silver. Hi-ho, Silver. This little girl is a beauty. She is also a black sable. Again, clearing out. She's going to be that copper color with some black highlights. She's just going to be a stunning dog. And Miss Silver, she's a gentle little soul. She's the sweetie of the litter. She and Pink are the two little sweethearts. You can often find them together. They enjoy playing with each other because they like to do so in a slightly more gentle way. And oh my goodness, you've changed the phone screen. Who are you texting? Are you texting your new family? And Miss Silver is 1.44 kilograms. So that's all the puppies. That's our update for this week. We hope you enjoyed seeing them. Normally we will be having our family visit coming up on Saturday, but that's our annual reunion that is going to be on the 28th. So our visit is going to be on the 29th, on the Sunday, where we're really looking forward to seeing everyone. And of course, between now and then, we will have one more video update. We'll do a week 5 update for you that will be followed by the visit, and then that will be followed by your allocation video. It won't be long now before you know which puppy is yours. And next week we're going to talk a little bit about exercise, walking with your puppy, what are the safe amounts for your puppy, and also alone time, and how to have a successful alone time without separation anxiety. So we look forward to seeing you again next week. We'd love it if you take a moment and pop some comments in under this video, please. It really helps us out a ton, and plus I really like talking to you. Thanks so much for watching.